Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks, just playing around tonight. And every time you draw something like this, it could be a little bit different. First of all, we could take away the white line. We could take away the center fill, and you get a total different look. But even when you recreate this part, it's not going to be perfect unless you use some measurements, but I'm not going to use any measurements. I'm just going to make an ellipse, and I'm going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. Let's make it a little bit bigger by holding down the Shift key. Now I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate, and then I'm going to bring it in holding down the Shift key. And then I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to go L to put it to the left. Now you see pretty big spaces there, so I'm going to take this, holding down the Shift key to make it grow from the inside. And then I can take this back and hit L, and it'll do that. Now I'm too little. So let's make it a little bit smaller by holding down the Shift key. Whoop, I actually had them both selected. Grab the center one, hold down the Shift, which really doesn't matter. Now I'm going to be back to too big. So select them both and hit L. That's about what I got. I'm going to try to make it a little bit different. And the other thing, it all depends on where you put the next step. So if we take this and hit L, now let's take ellipse. This is where you're going to want to set your nudge factor pretty low. So with nothing selected, set your nudge factor on like 0.001 or let's go 0.1. And then we're going to put this ellipse here and we're going to move it around until we get it in there, but I'm making it a little bit too big. So let's go right there and maybe even make it a little bit smaller. And then see, I can nudge it because I'll run one of them right on top of that line and they're not going to make it. So I'm going to go uphill where it's a little thinner. You've got to be pretty much touching the line on both sides. And I think we are, and we'll test that when we hit the virtual segment delete key. And we don't have it because it went past it. So that's good enough there, I think. Take your virtual segment delete. Not there yet. You don't want to go too far because then your shape will have jagged edges. Wow. I could make it a little bit bigger, but let's move it up and then over. Let's see if that didn't do it. Wow. See, we could actually take the jagged edges away. So there we got what we wanted. So now I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool and fill this in with a color. Let's use a different color this time. Let's use this burnt orange. Now, take everything else away. So I'm just going to delete it. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to left click, right click, and I'm going to Control D. I'm going to bring my indexing lines back to the center. I'm going to double click on the X and put the rotation of this for the rotate in the center. And whenever you see that right there is because I got too many copies. You know what I needed to do? I need to do anyway. Let's set our nudge factor on something heavier or bigger, like 5. That was what the problem was. I didn't have it joined together. So those pieces were messing me up. Now put it back, left click, right click. And the reason I'm doing an outline is because I'm going to have to trim something off. You don't really have to, but it'll make it look better. So we're going to rotate it 120 degrees. So there's the part we want to trim off. Right there, that overlapping. We don't want that there. So let's take the Smart Fill tool, fill that in, and let's nudge it over. Now let's hold down the Alt key and just select both those at the same time and delete them. Now we put it back. Let's get the Interactive Fill tool. You know, I went from dark to light or blue. I'm going to go dark on this side, see what happens. That's too much. We'll see what it looks like. And then you can always change your handle or change this to get it more of a dot. Control D to make a duplicate. Double click on your X, put it in the center. Whenever you don't hit that X, it's going to do that. Now we're going to rotate it that magical 120, Control D, and then 240. Now you could do it smaller and have 4 of them, have a shorter tail. Like I did in the first one, I could take my Smart Fill tool and fill this in, and then don't have to, but take your interactive fill tool, swipe across that orange, but then go right here to elliptical, and now it's in the center, kind of give it some little bit of darkness or lightness. Let's tell you what, let's do that. Let's put a little dark in the middle. I like it. Now, take away the lines, and you get kind of like a vortex look, baby. It's not a great deal, but it maybe taught you a tool or two. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.